Hello everyone and welcome back. As requested by you guys, I am back with a loose watercolor landscape painting for today. Thank you for those who voted on my poll. Really quick, exciting news. You can now join my channel to become a member and get access to membership perks. That's right, getting full-length, real-time videos with more tips and exercises is now available through memberships. You will see a join button right here next to the subscribe button on my channel, and once you click on join, you can get a lot more information regarding memberships and the perks that I'm offering. So click right here to find out more. Alright, so let's get started with our painting for today. I'm sketching the landscape briefly first before painting for placement purposes and to make the painting process easier. Here I'm only drawing the outline of the tree, again for placement purposes only. I decided to add an electric wire pole in the foreground here to break up some of the shapes and to add more interest. Alright, so this is all the sketching that I'm going to do for now, so let's begin painting. Alright, so beginning with the sky, I am taking in Cerulean Blue and adding a flat wash to that at the very top. So don't be afraid of going over the tree section a bit because it will be covered up with green anyway. Moving on, I wanted to get the bigger portions of this painting done with first, which is adding a base color. So here I'm trying to figure out colors for the pathway that we see in the reference. So in a nutshell, I'm adding slightly cooler gray-blue tones in the center pathway with warmer yellow tones on the sides. Again, this is just an initial wash, so we will come back to it at a later stage. So I am now painting the sides of the grass with naples yellow and sunburst yellow, which is basically a combination of a mustardy color with some orange. Leaving some of the gaps open in here for some green, so I'm using a combination of fern green along with spring green, again, which is basically a dark and light green mixed in together. I like saying this because just in case you don't have the Arteza palette, you can just use the colors based off of the palettes that you have. So just use a combination of dark and light mixed in. I'm adding a bit of Oxford blue with the muddy colors I already have on the palette, and I'm giving a very light wash of the trees far back. So using the tip of my brush, I'm dabbing slightly to give this far away tree-like impressions. Using that same blue again, I'm going to give this pathway a lot more texture and grit. And you can do that by adding in what is called a dry brush technique, where you're using less water and using the side of your brush to drag the color down, like you see me doing so. Using some warmer tones on my palette to the side of the pavement. Here I'm just building on the colors bit by bit to give it more dimension. So I'm adding in some more green to the left side, but not covering it up fully. Just little dabs in places to give impressions of grass. Rinsing off my brush and using Naples yellow to the side as well. I'm taking in those dark and light greens again, so fern green and spring green, to add to the portion around the right tree. Using that same green color to set a base layer for the trees on the left. So I'm simply dabbing the tip of my brush and the belly of it to give it impressions of trees while leaving a few white gaps open. Using fern green again, let's paint the right tree now and add a base layer to it. Same method by using the tip of my brush and the belly of the brush in few places. Here I'm adding some dark gray with fern green now to deepen the color for the shadow areas. I switched my brush to a smaller brush now to give me some more control and finer details to the leaves on this tree. Using a darker green with black, I'm dabbing that color gently. At this point, my paints are still halfway wet, so you can see I'm still getting some of that wet on wet effect. So taking in some burnt sienna, I'm painting the trunk of the tree here. Using some of that brown, I'm also adding just like some grass-like effect by flicking off my brush vertically like this. So just move your brush swiftly upwards. While my paint is still wet, I wanted to get more darker tones to this tree here, so almost using black now with a tiny bit of the green and dabbing that color in a few places. Alright, switching back to the finer brush again, and I'm adding in some of that dark brown to the branches of the faraway trees, really thin, fine details. At this point, your paint should almost be dry or completely dry. So now it's time to build on this painting a lot more and add more layers. So here I'm starting with warming up the grassy bits a bit more with sunburst yellow and naples yellow, followed by fern green after. So here I'm just dragging out the dark gray color I added to the edges and pulling it out horizontally on the sidewalk. Taking in some of that mustardy yellow color as well to add more warmth and a bit of sunshine to the sidewalk. I also like adding some cooler tones to my pathways as well, so I'm going in with a blue and dropping in hints of that color as well. Going back to the sidewalk a last time and adding in a hint of Oxford blue, which is similar to a purple color. So I'm just adding the brush marks horizontally again and a bit to the edges of the pathway. Alright, let's go ahead and take off this tape since we don't need it anymore for the edges. And this way it's also easier to see what we've got working for us so far. I'm adding in some details with acrylic white and a fine thin brush. Using a bit of that acrylic white to add some highlight details to this tree. I wanted to change the scenery and composition a bit and add an electric wire pole in the middle ground here, so I'm drawing it out with pencil first to make it easier to paint over the lines. Using a fine thin brush, I'm simply going over the lines with black. As we all know, watercolors do have a tendency to dry lighter than we first paint. So once the painting dries, I like to go back in with last minute final touches to bring out some of the color and details more. In the next few steps, you will see me adding in some more dark tones and midtones to finish this piece off. Bringing in a lot more of that warmth that I wanted my painting to have just adds a really nice pop. Join my membership program to become a member of this channel to watch exclusive, real-time, extended versions of my paintings with more tips and exercises. Click the join button below to find out more. And this completes our loose watercolor landscape for today. And if you do try this out, don't forget to tag me over at Instagram or share them with me at my Facebook group. I love looking at everyone's recreations. It always makes my day. I do appreciate all the love and support from each and every one of you from my orders lately, so thank you. And to shop my art, do visit my website. Thank you once again, and happy painting!